on record so that everybody can see this. I'm not going to do this. You can't hold me hostage. I like how everyone calls everything advanced. Create project. Select version of the engine to use for the project. 5, yes. ALS V5. And absolutely not in C. G. Unreal projects. ALS5, yes, thank you. That's the default project folder, you dingus. Create that. Complete, thank you. It's not a big project. And we can delete this. Huge slam, by the way. I don't know who's going to town on doors around this area, but they are going to town on doors in this area. I can't refresh it. No problem. You beat it! Wait, no. That's been on the screen for ages. No, of course. Alerty boy. And the right one this time. Unreal. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the camera, actor, handler, package thing, majigger thing. Project file is out of date. Would you like to update it? I'm going to wait for the shaders to compile. Then I will update it. So how are you all doing? Shaders be compiling, so we got a few seconds to chill out. I'm also on a time limit because something. Skylight waiting on shaders for final capture. Okay, that's nice. Thank you, buddy Skylight, for waiting on shaders for final capture. That's nice of you. I appreciate it. Is there more in this project? I don't remember all this garbage. I do not remember all this garbage. Excuse me. These basic AI receive commands from a behavior tree moved to random locations. While focused on the player, from a movement and animation standpoint, AI characters function identically to player characters. The only difference should be the controller, as long as the correct information like velocity, movement, input, looking, rotation, and current states are in the anime BP and the reference and make sure what it does for player characters. Great. Oh no, due to work conflicts and time restrictions, this project has been provided as is for free with no guarantee or any more major updates. No some parts are unfinished, but it's the best you could hope to do with the time you had left. Regardless, hope this project becomes available loading, which else do you hope you create some cool stuff. Thank you for everyone who's supported me in this project this far. It's been fun. Blue Skies Caleb. Aww. Much of the existing gameplay logic is meant to be replaced with more sophisticated systems on a per project basis. Please don't expect to be able to throw things in this and have a full game. Understand that working with the system effectively does require prior game development knowledge and experience. You can't guarantee it. Some things that might find their way to the system giving you time, multiplayer replication, weapon animation, examples like firing wheels, exhibiting improved IK behavior on slopes, solution for 90-180 degree starts, possibly stops, improved mantling mechanism, improved system. Yeah, we still got a couple of shaders to do, so we'll wait patiently. We'll mess around with the pedals. Yay! I've been trying to do Nürburgring times again. I did a couple last night. No high score, of course. What was that noise? Okay, now we can update the project files. Thank you. And if we play the game, if we build the lighting and then play the game. It's very bitter. It's got like a leafy. It's really not enjoyable. A lot of caffeine in it too. Like. Map check found some issues. Don't give a fuck. No offense. What's the button to change shoulders? That's pretty cool. Some features not implemented. This dude has a pistol. Check him out. This dude has a fucking a torch. Anyway, the reason that we're in this. Whoa, watch it, buddy. Do we get this rifle model? A sick low poly M4? Anyway, the reason we're here is because we're actually looking for the camera system. Here we go. So we don't really care about these, but we do care about the ALS player camera management and the ALS player camera behavior. Which doesn't want to load apparently. And it's a massive, massive piece of shit. Custom camera behavior sequence. BPI get 3P pivot target, BPI get FP camera target. BPI get camera parameters. TP FOV, FP FOV. Double precision floats. Wow. Oh, it's third person and first person field of view, right? Okay. Calculate the camera rotation, use control rotation, and interpolate for smooth camera rotation. Am I? Oh, they are. That's why this chair feels weird. Armrests were down, yeah. Critical failure here. So what do we do? Get camera rotation, get owning player controller, get control rotation, get camera behavior parameter, rotation lag speed, curve name. Get 1 delta seconds. Debug view rotation. So this is just debug. This is just a debug perk. Don't really need that. Okay. I watched a really cool couple of videos last night about optimizing Super Mario World for the N64. Apparently that game was coded like shit. And I had a look at some of the code the guy provided, source code, snippet examples between, you know, the original code and the improvement. And yeah, some of it, damn. Some of that code that I could see and understand, damn. And apparently it's down to the fact that obviously multiple people programmed on the thing, but apparently the N64 has got some very specific preferences on the way it handles loops. And apparently it has an instruction cache that stores the last 4,000 instructions. So actually repeating an operation is not as expensive as it would be on a conventional CPU, which is not an instruction cache, which does not cache the last 4,000 instructions given to it, which is why a loop takes a lot of beef. I didn't even read what any of this does. Calculate the smooth pivot target orange sphere. Get the third person pivot target green sphere and interpolate using axis independent lag for maximum control. I want to know where the fuck my post-it notes are. I can't see them. They're not down here. What is that? Oh, battery charger? Okay. I'm just gonna have to suck it up and buy some more post-it notes, and you know, the second I do, I'll find the ones that I lost. The exact second they'll be in my pocket. You know, I'll go to the checkout, I'll pay money, and then I'll be like, "Oh, motherfucker!" They'll be right there, and I'll have wasted an extra £1.50. Oh, I guess I wouldn't, because I'd have 2 sets of post-it notes. I would have paid for both sets of post-it notes. It just makes sense. Anyway, no. What are we talking about? Calculate the smooth pivot target orange sphere, get the third person pivot target green sphere, and interpolate using axis independent lag for maximum control. Calculate the pivot location, blue sphere. Get the smooth pivot target. Apply local offsets for further camera control. Where does any of this actually happen, though? This is not the event graph. This is F custom camera behavior. Show me the event graph. There we go. Wait, what? We just have an on possess, set control pawn, camera behavior, get anim instance. What the fuck is going on here? Custom camera behavior is a function, right? Has the outputs, location, rotation, and field of view. That's all we're calculating here, right? A custom camera movement, all it calculates is the location of the camera, the rotation of the camera, which is a Euler rotator apparently, not a quaternion, which is fine. It's totally fine. It's not pure, it's not const, it's not colon editor, it's not deprecated, not thread safe. What's thread safe? Enable thread safety checks in this function. Only thread safe functions and operations are allowed in this function. I don't know what that means. I do not know what that means. But this is the return node, so it's a function. Custom camera behavior. Okay. We found it. We've got on possess here, right? Updated references in the camera behavior anim blueprint. Camera behavior is a skeletal mesh, apparently. Get anim instance. Cast ALS player camera behavior. Get owning player character controller. Set player controller. Controlled pawn. Set controlled pawn. That they're local variables here, right? Pawn. Controlled pawn. No, they're not. They are. This is the local one. These are in the ALS animation behavior. Right, okay. Oh, Christ. Note. Source pose was visible but ignored. Dr. Mana to the Dono, how is it going, my dude? Well, Devro, yesterday I had a bit of a stress incident developing the pinball game. I don't know what happened, I don't know why it happened, but I rage quit. Something inside me just snapped, and I flipped my table, and I played some video games off stream. So today, I have the pinball open. In fact, if you want to see it, we can play around. I have nothing against playing around a pinball casually here, but it's come to my major attention that in fact I need to hills and stuff. Yeah, not hills, animations, cameras and stuff is what I was actually doing. Love hills, by the way. So you've got this function which freezes the pinball in flight and transitions the camera. That was actually pretty neat. I'll never be able to do that again. Put that on the goddamn trailer. That was so nice. But yeah, I was trying to get it so that I could transition the camera between different play areas, so that you'd feel more like you were playing a pinball table, right? So it'd feel like you were you were contributing to the overall pinball aesthetic. And now we're screwed because the pinball spawns on the other side of the table, as you can see. It's right over there. Nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. But yeah, right now that's triggered by this little. I don't know, I'm scrolling in. It's triggered by this little collider. It's actually a big collider. It's 5 inches wide. You know, that's quite big. That's like, where's my camera? It's like this wide. You know, it's not a small collider, but everything in this game is scaled up. So 5 inches average, right? For colliders. Ha ha ha. Funny man. Anyway, so I was. Oh, I want to move that directly into the center of these two little prongs. So I was trying to get that to work, and it works, as you've just seen. And it was very stressful to get working. And I stopped the second that it started working how I intended it to work, and that's bad. That's a bad work ethic, I think. I don't want to display that to potential employers. Just know, if you employ me, you pay me money to develop games, friends, I will just develop game all day. You know? All day. Pretty much. Cause I'm not getting paid for this, and there is legit zero financial incentive for this one. Basically, I wanted bragging rights that I can make it, so I could say I made a Metroidvania pinball game. And apparently yesterday, someone brought up the fact that Yoku's Island Express is in fact a pinball Metroidvania. So that someone's already beaten me to building a pinball Metroidvania anyway. I don't know how to feel about this, because I thought it was a fairly unique niche in the market to have made a game. You know, you think you work your ass off when you get paid for doing that. Hell yeah, man. You know, right now I get paid money to stand around and do pretty much nothing all day. So, and I do stand around all day and do nothing. So, you know, pay me to make video games. You know what? I might actually make video games for you. Don't pay me to make video games, and you'll end up with this kind of thing where I rage quit after 2 hours of developing something that barely works, doesn't really work how it's meant to work, and it's basically just a prototype at this point, because the functionality is right in one use case, but the actual code is garbage. It doesn't actually work at all. It's inextensible. It doesn't account for the direction the ball is going, which it shouldn't do, because it's meant to be set. It's a gate, right? The ball hits it and then goes through. But if the ball hits it and then lags, it doesn't go through, or bounces back somehow, and it's still doing its cooldown cycle, which is only 0.2 seconds. So I think I'm pretty safe with having its cooldown, but it doesn't work if your ball gets gutted, which is, I think, one of the biggest things. And also, you have to physically set the offset for the camera on every single zone or every single gate, which is incorrect. And it will set the origin camera based on the current camera location when you were incident on the thing once, the first time you collide with it, and then never again, which is kind of cool for an optimization purpose, but actually it could be something that could be done offline, I think. You could just get the previous, but then you'd have to define them as an actor that had knowledge of the fact that it was a zone, and it gets convoluted and difficult, and it's not the thing that I wanted, if you understand my meaning. Obviously we need, if I'm to have the feeling of having, you know, tables, a pinball table style table setup, right, with, you know, individual segmented areas to play pinball into, obviously we'll need transition volumes, so to transition between one place and the other. But this is not reliable, it's not robust, it's not reversible, it doesn't have any fail safes. And if you gutter your ball when you're in a place that isn't the main starting area, screwed, because there's no transitional logic between it. And actually, I think that would be a smart way of rewriting this, is if I made transitional logic rather than a transition camera panner, because that's what this is. And then it can fire off an event, and then the event can be like, hey bro, you need to move the camera, and also, hey bro, you need to remember that this is your new launcher when you're on this side of the thing. But at the moment, we don't have any kind of knowledge of what a launcher is, or what a zone is, or what a table is, and it's kind of frustrating. So what I was doing, because it's actually important, pertinent to every game that I will develop from here on out, basically, except for maybe the odd game jam where I just stick a camera on a stick and point it where it needs to be pointed. I'm looking at the ALS, the Advanced Locomotion System project, to see how they implement their camera manager. I have absolutely no idea how they implement their camera manager, because in the event graph they have on possess, new parameter, set controlled pawn, get anim instance, camera behavior, which is a skeletal mesh which has one bone. It's a camera. Cast to ALS, camera behavior, and then get owning player, set that as the player controller, and then set the control pawn as the control pawn. And that's over here in the ALS camera behavior thing, the animation script. And here we go. We got player controller, control pawn, movement state, movement action, rotation mode, gate, stance, view mode, right shoulder, and debug view. These are all set. Ah, here we go. Here we go. No, okay. So when you open the ALS player camera manager, it presents you with this, which is fine. Absolutely fine. 100% fine. It's a sequence in a function. I thought that this was the whole graph. I thought that the camera manager was not a specialized blueprint at this point. I thought it was a specialized blueprint, sorry, at this point. And so I thought, right, this is the whole thing, right? This is the function that it executes on tick to find out the rotation and the location of the camera, the orientation of the things that it's looking at, the depth of field, etc., 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 etc. Incorrect. This, I don't know what this is. I don't know what calls this. I don't know when it's called. I don't know how it's called. I believe it's called on tick. Has to be, because it does interps for the rotation for the viewpoint and the location of the character and stuff like that. So that's the kind of stuff that you expect to see on tick for a camera manager, right? Where is the camera? Where is the camera looking? But it's not called in this function. This is it. That's it. On possess. That's all you get. So I'm trying to work out where it's called from, and I thought maybe here. But this is update character info, and this is sequence 1. Get is valid, not valid, controlled pawn, get current states, get the states, set the states. Get is valid, controlled pawn, BPI get camera parameters, and BPI get debug info, which is actually called here, camera parameters, and something else somewhere else. Anyway, so I figured I'd have a look at this, and I saw this, and this is what it presents you with the first time. This is the animation graph blend shape for aiming while standing, walking, or crouching, walking, running, whatever. Moving, crouching, moving, stood. Or stood still, stood, and stood still, crouching, crouching still. How are you doing anyway, Devro? Well, welcome. I honestly have no idea. Because this is update character info, right? And event graph is event blueprint update animation update character info, and that's all it does. It doesn't have anything to do with ALS camera manager custom camera behavior. It has nothing to do with this. Has 0% to do with this. I'm gonna light my chaotic fire. It'll relax me and also distract me, and also probably stress me out a little bit. It's a scented candle, but these are the worst matches, I swear to God. They burn really fast and they don't ignite. You made an Xing profile and one of them was so straightforward. They called your employer and asked for your number to call me, which has probably told them there's something up. Xing profile. Xing profile. Like a Bitwise operator? I thought everyone hated C. Sorry if I'm punching the microphone here. It's the way it has to be, I'm afraid. It's a platform where headhunters can find you and offer you jobs. Xing, you say? If I were to say open Chrome, Xing is a Hamburg-based, career-oriented social networking site operated by New Work SE. The site is primarily focused on German-speaking market alongside Xing Spain, competes with the American platform LinkedIn. Oh. Ooh. Death fucking row. I don't look for jobs. Jobs look for me. Hey. Yeah, I spent I was ill one day. I think it was last week, and I spent the part of the day that I was, you know, available for brain work, updating my LinkedIn profile. Nobody said anything about it. I actually don't think I sent out a notification. Maybe I should. Maybe I should add more pictures to it. See, the thing that I don't get is, like, people are like, we'll make it look professional, but let's be real. Advertising, my dude, advertising, you require... Jesus. That is a no-go. That is an abort mission. Jesus Christ. Did you see how big that fire was? That did stress me out. Wow. Anyway, distraction. Alert first person, override and return target camera parameters. There's fucking smoke everywhere now. Jesus Christ. You know what? Fuck it. I got paid last week. Next time I go to Boots to get my lunch, I'm gonna go grab a fucking woodwick. Not a Yankee candle, I'm getting a woodwick. It's not about brand loyalty, they just have a really nice smelling one. And I want to hear they have an advertising spiel about how their wick, it's how do you say, it's a piece of veneer basically, and apparently according to them it crackles when it burns. So I want to test it out. I got one for my sister at Christmas and she said she liked it. So woodwick, Yankee candle, what the hell are you talking about? Look at scented candles, Deborah. Do you not like to have a personal fire while you work? See, I would have loved to keep that going, but I'm inside. I'll open Chrome and I'll show you. This is not sponsored. This is not sponsored. This is not a paid sponsorship. Woodwick. It's a candle. Yo, Vabinier. Wood candle wicks with iron stand sustainer for handmade DIY craft making. Dude, you can get your own fucking wood wicks. Yes, but no. Was I signed in? You didn't see anything. That was a shopping link. God damn it. Yeah, one of these. It's a candle, but the wick is made out of a strip of wood. And apparently, yeah, they're very expensive. Apparently, they crackle like soothingly as they burn. And that's what I want. Basically, if I could just have a wood fire indoors next to me at all times, that'd be fucking fantastic. But it's impractical Not just because of the heat output of a giant fire plasmid. Plasma? Not a plasmid. I've been watching genetics videos again. But also carbon monoxide production and smoke particles being indoors. It's not great. Sometimes unsure about my dating preference. Nah, nobody. At the moment, absolutely no. I want to stay as far away from other people as possible. That's, yeah. What the fuck is this? Dude, what the fuck is... Large concrete soy and woodwick candle. The fuck have I... What kind of other realm have I fallen into here? Anyway, not sponsored. Yeah, no, I had one. It wasn't brand. It was a cheapo from Sainsbury's, and yeah, it's done its time. I'll add it to the trash bin later. There's more! Concrete soy and woodwick candles. What the fuck? Who decided this was a good idea? Anyway. I'm meant to be working out where this is called. I can't just find references, can I? Oh, here we go. Blueprint update camera. I think we found it. Back in Unreal 4, you couldn't do this. It wouldn't look for things outside of the blueprint. Are these outside the blueprint? No, they're not. Yeah, but... What? Get camera behavior parameter. Wait, is that... That's not any of those. Fuck. This is controlled porn. So, do I have to look at the character? Oh my lord. These functions are a great place to perform logic based on previous and new state. It should be called whenever a state changes as long as you use the interface state to change the state. A little cheeky arrow. Okay, I need to make a shopping list. Another one. Where's my old shopping list gone? I didn't even buy all that stuff yet. PS2 power supply. Devro. It's Tuesday already and I still don't order one. I didn't order those Magic the Gathering cards either. They were very expensive. And one of them doesn't exist, apparently. Whoa, you can... No. What? Mantle timeline. This timeline is triggered from the mantle start function. Updates the function that lerps the character to the new location. But there's no input here. What the fuck? You can't just... BPI, get camera parameters. So we need interfaces, right? Camera system. There it is. That doesn't help me. That doesn't help me at all. So this is get camera behavior parameter. Get anim instance is valid. Return get curve value, curve name, curve, return node 0. Okay. Blueprint update camera. Here we go. 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 Blueprint update camera. Actor has tag ALS character. Branch true custom camera behavior. Right? Event references. No. Yes. That's where we are. This is never called. Are you kidding me? That's not how a program works, friends. This is has to be called somewhere. Simulate, baby. Give me a simbimulate. Hold on. I'll drag this. Wait, can I do that? I can't do that. I need to put that on my other screen. And then we'll put this on this screen. It doesn't do anything. It's never called. Look. Look, I'm playing the game on my other screen, which you can't tell, but I promise me, you can see that it's simulating. You can see I'm, you know, mashing keys, swiping mouse. Nothing happening here, buddy. Oh, that's not correct. That is the kind of thing you see in a AAA game, though. Mantling something you shouldn't be able to mantle and then falling off instantly. I like it. I hope this guy gets a job making the new Tomb Raider game. It's a very nice mantling feel. Oh, hello. I feel so satisfying. Whoa. But yeah, you can see that the update camera blueprint is never called. I don't get it. Okay, we're in the debug view now. We're showing traces. Did you know there are no traces? Are you kidding me? Should debug shapes. There we go. They're there. They are the shapes that debug. Can I just not this one. There are definitely debug shapes happening here. Yeah, no, Mario 64. Mario was doing 3 raycasts on tick to find out the slope of the floor he was stood on. Oh no. Oh no! Okay, so there are raycasts being done. There are traces being made. There are, in fact, let's go back in. Let's go back in, and I'll. Where is it? Underneath. Are you kidding me? Let's go back in, and I can show you that there are traces and debug shapes happening. So you see the debug shapes. These are generated by the advanced locomotion camera handler, right? Ostensibly, it's where they're instantiated. I've seen the code for them, based on if you're in a debug mode or not. ALS anim man character BP. Oh, okay. So maybe we're looking at the wrong dude. So you see we have control rotation, we have a smooth loop arrow, and we've got a couple of walls for the camera. I don't know what these traces are though. A jogger. Very good. Now C is change. A little bit difficult to see all the debug shapes in first person, but okay. I've ragdolled. Oh, we can just be Manny. That's pretty cool. I didn't know they had Manny in here. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that there are debug shapes being made, and the debug shapes are being called from the animation. No, the camera manager right here, right here. Ooh. There are, in fact, more debug lines than that. There are 3 debug lines, not 2. There are 3 debug spheres, though, so that's fine. Now I'm worried. So usually when you have an event graph that doesn't call... Graph is not editable. What is your parent though? Parent class character? Oh, okay. Well, there's not gonna be any. There's not gonna be any Tekken default character. Set essential values. Cache values. Raw debug shapes. Is there one here? Ah, debug arrow. Debug arrow. Debug arrow. Debug cone. Debug capsule. Not sure about that one, but the arrows definitely are from this. Okay, not the lines, but the spheres are definitely from the camera. Okay. Is it time to watch a tutorial video? I think it might be time to find a tutorial video for this kind of stuff. I don't know why it's always this video that I come back to. How to add gravity and locomotion to VR porn on Unreal Engine VR. Thank you. What do I want? Unreal Engine Camera Manager. Oh, a fun fact, my headphones have been off this whole time, so good job there were no sounds going on. Give me a brief second and we'll watch a Wadstein or something. What? It just, wait, what? I don't understand. I understand, but I don't understand. You just bind it once and it just happens. So it's on the player controller, maybe. Right here. Yeah, right there. Black Void Titan. Black Void. Ah. My goodness, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Mr. Void Titan again. Welcome, raiders, whoever you are, wherever you're from. I'm having a real. You know when you're trying to think, what the fuck is this spaghetti code that Unreal Engine has developed for us? Do you use a camera controller? Do you use a camera manager at all? Do you use a spring arm? Or like, not even a spring arm, like a tick function in the player? Anything. How was your stream anyway? What were you doing? How are you feeling? Why is this so difficult to understand? I just watched a tutorial video and the information did not go in. Like, it went in, but like, what? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, I really just don't get it. Like, I'm thinking about it. I'm considering the implications of all the words that our friend on YouTube has just used. And I just don't understand. Like, I saw what he did. I watched him do it in real time. I saw it work in the engine. And I'm just like, what the fuck does it, what, how? And don't get me wrong, this isn't one of those instances where I figured maybe I'd understand computer programming better if I understood how CPUs work. That is don't go there. Stream was okay, he was doing silly things with splines. Hey, do you know what? If you can distract me for 5 seconds, I'll talk about silly things with splines for 5 seconds. Take me to my pinball assets. I don't remember what scale these are meant to be. Bugger. Oh, that is just a mesh. That's why. Oops. Spline away. But yeah, welcome everybody. What has gone on here? Hello, friend. What are you doing? Have I made cursed geometry? I have made cursed geometry. Yes, it folds back on itself. Whoops. Do you like a good spline though? Do appreciate a cheeky spline. Looks nice. Thank you. It's it's just some garbage I made in Blender in about 5 seconds, but isn't everything these days. Ooh. No, right. I should tell all you people. Did that delete the whole thing? Good. I should tell you people coming in what I do or what I don't do, apparently. So hello everybody, welcome into the stream. I am Mr. Manadono. I have no kill box on the second gutter. What was I thinking? Right, today I'm building a Metroidvania pinball game, but in general, Monday, Tuesdays I do game development in the Unreal Engine. Real relaxed vibes. My main project is a JRPG. Can I call it a JRPG if I'm not actually J? Is that legal? Is that like cultural appropriation maybe? It's an RPG in a J style, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. This project is getting terminated after this stream, and I'm going back to the development of the RPG. This was just a nice, fun, quote-unquote, air quotes, the biggest air quotes you can find at Staples, fun project to J-style RPG, yes. To alleviate the stress of the fact that I balked my main project. And before you say use GitHub, no amount of GitHub is gonna resolve a compile error in the Unreal Engine. Unfortunately, the engine that I was using has been deleted from existence, does not exist, and I cannot open the project file in the new version of the engine because I wrote a C++ script. I wrote a custom widget, okay? I made a custom widget class because I was trying to be smart and write something in C++. I wrote something in C++. That was a custom widget. And do you know what that custom widget did? It didn't compile. And you cannot open a project with uncompiled code in the new engine. It won't compile because it needs to compile to the new engine. Yeah. And I can't get rid of the uncompiled code because I already have gotten rid of the uncompiled code. But the uncompiled code is still referenced in Visual Studio. Visual Studio thinks it exists, and it will not remove references of it for some strange reason. There's nothing in the sidebar that I can do about it. And there's nothing in any of the menus that I can do about it. And I'm a stupid flesh man. Doesn't really understand Visual Code that well, Visual Studio that well. And yeah, so balked to the point at which I will have to basically extract all of the code from. You hate issues like that? Me too. It's a mass. It's because it's not difficult to fix the issue, right? You just have to get your contents folder, and you gotta copy everything out of your contents folder, put it into the new contents folder of a new project, and then you gotta hook up hundreds of variables again. Very fun. Very fun. I too enjoy manually repairing blueprints in the Unreal Engine. I mean, who's to say? Most of them might just work out of the box. Most of them might be fine. But I have the strange feeling that the vast majority of them will be broken. And also, bigger issue, all of the engine preferences, all of the project preferences, anything in the settings menu, gone. I could copy that across two, but I feel like moving the settings from one engine version to the new engine version is going to have some problems, some complications, so I'm not going to approach on the safest vector, I think. So right now, I'm trying to understand what a camera controller, a camera manager is, how they work, and why is this black magic on the Unreal Engine, because it is black magic. It is. So we have the ALS player controller. Auto receive input disabled. What the fuck? So what you're telling me is that you had no backup before you used the beta of an engine. I started the development on the beta of the engine, Devro. I was fully prepared. I was fully prepared for this exact eventuality. I was not prepared for how stressful it was going to be, but I basically expected it. I basically expected the whole project to be scorched earth at the release of the engine. Not actually because of this reason, but I figured that Epic Games would just terminate everyone's projects on the inside. They'd stab them in the back. But no, they're not that mean. That's even worse. What do you mean that's even worse? That's right. I took it upon myself to pioneer bleeding edge software. I've learned a lot, and there's a lot that I can take away from it. And then the project can just be started again. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to find out where this fucking camera... There it is! There it is! There it is! There it is! Right. There it is. Everybody stop. Productive systems never use the betas of anything. Productive systems don't know... That's the law. Productive systems don't know the meaning of living on the edge, bro. You gotta be dangerous. And also, how can I learn about the Unreal Engine, the Unreal 5 Engine 5, if I'm not using the Unreal 5 Engine 5? Huh? Grab some food and let me know, and let you know, think about what I did. Manadono does not equal productive system. Correct. I am basically just pure entropy at this point. Yes. Anyway, living on the edge, yeah. Burning the candle in the middle. In the middle. Here it is. I found it. Player Camera Manager class in the Player Controller section of the Player Controller class. I want to write this down, but I have nothing to write it down on. Notepad. Nope. Oh, there's my shopping list. I found it. Beast. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Magic the Gathering. I was looking for a Shorecoma Crab, which is OP as fuck, and I was looking for Raid Bombardment. I can buy Raid Bombardment for $2.48 a card. You heard me correctly. $20 shipping from Australia, which is like $100. I'm sure they would not combine the shipping on playing cards. They know what they got. I could buy a booster box of the booster packs that Raid Bombardment come in for £400, which is about $600. But that's $600. Although I would have probably more Raid Bombardments than Australia could ever provide me with, because I'm pretty sure it's a common card. Pretty sure I'd get 100 of them out of 24 booster packs. Anyway, Shorecoma Crab does not exist. It is only in Magic the Gathering Arena. I did not order a PS2 PSU, and I'm massively disappointed. Dev, Black Void, which one of you is still here? If Black Void Titan has not gone to bed yet. Just weird question, right? Third-party brand new power supply or first-party refurbished power supply? I really do like the fact that the first-party one says Sony on the front, and I may be a Sony fanboy, but I'm also definitely not a Sony fanboy. Not anymore, at least. Well, I say that. I like their phones. That's about it. Haven't made a good console in a good long while. It's basically just been tit for tat battling with Xbox. You know what that gets you. What was the power supply for? PS2. PS2 Slim. They have an external power brick, that's why they're so small. But it's basically the same money for an original one or a new third party, not Sony. Chinesium. They say that, but the Sony ones are made in China too, so. Or at least they were in the 90s. Oh, sorry, the 2000s. Right. I need to write this down. I need a piece of paper for it. You've had a rough time with third-party stuff in the past, but you've no idea about console power supplies. Yeah. I figured you'd say something like that. I'm probably going to go for one of the original ones. They look like they're in good condition, and Sony stuff's pretty rugged. Not like the old Sega garbage from the 80s, which turns to shit after 20 years. Which reminds me, I need to order capacitors for my Game Gear. Jesus. There's so much stuff that I have to do. Sony stuff is usually solid. Yeah, that's what I found. Like, even the modern stuff that they put out doesn't tend to break that easy. And I appreciate that. And that's coming from someone who's had 3 Sony phones. I did crack the screen on one of them the day before it got stolen. And if you stole my Sony phone, I know your face, buddy. I'm coming for you. You better run. It's a bit. It's a funny joke. Never mind. Anyway, Mr. BVT, if you have to go, don't let me hold you. Ransom or otherwise. Oh yeah, no, you might be interested actually. The game is pirate themed. Did I show you? Can I show you? How can I show you? If I go to the game content, if I go to the pinball assets, if I go to the player character, and I get one of the balls, and just drop it in the ocean. Maybe drop it in a place where we can see it. You got a couple of things to do, so you'll be here for a little while. Nice. Can see you. This is the pinball that we're using. It's a glass. It's a reverse material, so it's textured on the inside. A glass sphere, and it's got a, I don't know what you'd call this, a galleon. And it is. There are cannons on the ship. Bastard was holding out on us. So I got this from the modular low poly style pack pirate edition, and there is no cannon model in the pack. There's a pistol, there's a cutlass, there's a whole bunch of island foliage. Looks awesome. Certainly appreciate it, being an expert pirate that you are. Yes, that's what I thought you'd say. Everybody loves a bit of pirates. But yeah, there's no cannon model, so I'm going to have to extract that from the goddamn ship. I'm going to take the ship to Blender and steal the cannon model. They can use the same material at least. That's the only saving grace on this one. What was I saying though? Yes, the camera. How the camera works, why the camera works. Let's see if any of these pens still work. When I was in Japan, when I lived in Japan, I used to get these pens to write with because they had a really fine nib and they were really good for writing in Japanese. Here we go. Whoa! Easy there, camera. Easy. Whoa. Is that focusing? The Uni Style Fit. Mitsubishi pencil. In Japan. They are a 0.38mm ball. Very small little lads. The camera I've got here is running like ass today. I don't know why, but so we're just gonna have to deal with it. And when I was there last, I picked some up in different colors, and I think some of them just dried up instantly. Like you try and export this stuff, and it's just oh no. So we got the really nice ink as well. This ball's got a little bit of crud on it. I really like them. And if you're ever in Japan, or if you're ever in a stationery shop that you can get these at, I recommend them. They're very fun pens. They are a little bit scratchy, but they have tiny nibs, so it's basically to be expected that they're going to be scratchy. They're nowhere near as scratchy as any alternative, but they're very good for writing tiny little kanji. So this is an example of some text that we had. Is that Jiseki Shushu? And this is, where are we? This is the 0.38mm ball, and this is a 0.01mm fiber tip, and the line width is pretty much identical, which is ridiculous. But yeah, they're one of my favorite pens of all time. So, how I'm gonna do this, make it look neat. I wish I had post-it notes, you know. So the camera manager blueprint. I'm gonna not use the purple one because that's got scuzz on it. Inherits from the camera manager class and is integral to the player controller class. Here it is, right. So in the player controller, the only problem about these pens is that they're very skinny, so you will get hand cramp, RSI, and carpal tunnel very quickly using them. So maybe if you can get one of those big old chunky tri-grips, I like those. I never understood them when I was at primary school, but now I've been writing with pens for 30 years. I guess maybe not quite 30 years, but 28 years maybe. Let's call it 28 years. I understand now the true benefit to having one of those giant chunky rubber tri-grips in your pen. They're great. You should get them. Or even if you get just some sugru and make them permanent on each pen. Camera manager asset can be specified in the player controller under class defaults arrow player controller. My handwriting, by the way, is absolute garbage. It's a miracle I can even read some of this stuff. I've looked back through notes from my college days and it's completely illegible. Camera manager asset can be specified in the player controller under class defaults player controller. Camera function can be set by overriding the function. You feel like your handwriting has severely regressed due to years of typing everything. It's not just that, my handwriting has always been ass. There's something about it. I can do one sentence really nice, evenly spaced, cursive handwriting, and then after that it's basically like my hand just cramps up and it's fucked. The whole thing. I can feel it right now. It's like right the if you hold your hand out with the palm down and then at your wrist, the bottom bit, the tendon that goes onto the thumb and that surrounding kind of area of flesh is just super tight. Not happy. Maybe I should start holding my pen more like a Chinese calligraphy. They say you can use the wrist when you do that. I never understood it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you ever take courses in Chinese calligraphy when you went to China on your school trip? Holding it like this, I never got it. I never understood why you hold it like this. I'm like, what are you going to do holding a pen like this? But it's actually mostly a regular pen grip up at the top, and then you have support at the bottom, so you can use the wrist the whole way around. It's mainly for like large motions of using a brush to write large characters artistically, but it's actually It's really nice and freeing, and I don't use it ever to do anything. But you should use it, because it frees the wrist, and that's where a lot of the stress comes. The wrist. Because that's what you do, right? You plant your forearm on the desk, and then your wrist just goes fucking nuts. It's like everything. It's like playing guitar or violin. Like the motion has to come from the whole arm, and it's tiring. It's even more tiring than just do it from the wrist. But then you lower the severity of getting, you know, RSI, carpal tunnel, which are the things that you get if you do a lot of writing and a lot of violining, and a lot of guitaring from the wrist all the time. Yeah. What was I doing? I've thrown myself off concentration. I was halfway through writing a sentence here. It's a camera function can be set by overriding the function. What function is it that we override in the camera manager? Blueprint update camera. In the but also a lot of the stress can come from the gripping force of holding things like a pick or a tiny pen, if they're very small, if they're very thin. Which is why I've invested in these ridiculously huge picks throughout my entire life. Let me show you my guitar pick collection, because I want to be slightly distracted today. Not those. They're collectibles. I don't want to show you the collectible guitar picks. I want to show you the thick ones. There's one. And where's the carbon fiber one go? Over here. Ah, there it is. So it all started when I saw someone doing a video about the gravity pick, which is a pick that I still do not have one. If anyone wants to buy me a gravity pick, do you know what? I could add that to my throne. Konnichiwa and Juju-san. What's going on? What's poppin'? You've typed that in Romaji, so I'm assuming that either you're too lazy to change from your programming keyboard to your typing keyboard, or you are, in fact, actually don't have a Japanese IME on you. Welcome anyway. I don't care. Like I don't know why I'm even talking about this stuff. How are you doing? What are you doing? What brings you to this neck of the woods, other than the fact that I was about to show you my tiny collection of thick guitar picks? You only talk in Swedish and English? I know very little Swedish, I'm afraid. I did start learning Swedish on Duolingo, but then I got salty at Duolingo and stopped learning Swedish. So, and also Beck ended, so what am I going to do? So this is my tiny collection of thick guitar picks. So I saw a video on the gravity pick, and I thought to myself, that doesn't look too hard to make. So I got myself a slab of, is this 3mm or 4mm? 3mm or 4mm? I think it's 4mm. 4mm thick carbon fiber 2212 that I used to use for making exorbitantly thick liners on knife handles with. But I turned this one to a guitar pick. It's great. Swedish is hard sometimes, especially with the O and the O and the U. Is that stones? They're guitar picks. They are for playing guitar. This is my newest one. I have not tried this one yet. It's a Jim Dunlop Big Stubby Triangle. I think this is probably for bass guitarists more than anyone, but I got it anyway. Anyway, I saw the gravity pick videos that people were doing about the gravity pick. Kind of want one still. What are they made from? I think these three are made from acrylic, and this one is made from carbon fiber, using a standard clear epoxy. No weird binders. Just a regular carbon fiber. I don't want to say cheap epoxy, but they're not that cheap. It's about £10 for a litre. It's not that cheap. And I didn't make this carbon fiber. I bought it from a guy called G&G Carbon, I believe. I think this is G&G Carbon fiber. The AJ Composites is a lot more industrial than this. But the problem with this, it's a great pick. It has great traction because of the scoops. But the main problem is carbon fiber is not great at resisting what looks like carbon. Carbon fiber is not very good at resisting abrasive stuff. It's very easy to grind, in fact, carbon fiber, and much to your deficit, if you're not wearing a face protection, you really got to keep that dust out of your nose, because epoxy one will give you cancer, and carbon dust, although carbon is mostly inert, if it gets in your lungs, it's not great. Anyway, I got this a few months afterwards. It's a Jim Dunlop jazz pick. It's very thick. It's you know, it's 2.5, I think, maybe 3, just shy of 3 mil thick, but it's tiny. It is not suited to my hands. There's no real grip on the inside, and it's quite hard to play with. I enjoy it. Are you making me afraid? Well, just wear a respirator. It's fine. Like, it's not a massive issue as long as you take the correct safety precautions. Anyway, I got this for Christmas last year, or this year, last year. The last Christmas just gone. It's got this weird slash across the back, which I do not like, but the big dip on the other side is fantastic. It's made for like a traditional kind of curved grip, which I say everyone should be using, and I say that's how I hold my pick, but it's not actually quite how I hold my pick. So it's very comfortable. It's a very nice pick. Maybe it could do with being a bit thicker, I think. And then I got this, which is legitimately, I think it's 3.1 mil thick, and it's huge. It's way easier to hold than the jazz pick. I haven't tested it out yet though, so I don't know how it is. It's quite wide though, so they are my huge pick collections. I hope you enjoyed that little weird segment of the video. I don't know how we got onto that. Oh, I was talking about carpal tunnel syndrome. Yeah. Don't get carpal tunnel syndrome, kids. That's my only advice. Anyway, blueprints. What, Brenda? Do you make video games? Have you been brought here by the lure of learning how to make a video game? Because they looked cool though. Thank you. They did look a bit cool. I'm struggling here today. I struggle most days, but today and yesterday, yup, he's here for guitar game. Fuck. Let's do a little reset here. Right now, I'll just go over with you what I'm doing right now, and then you can interrupt me with questions as I'm doing that, and I can get derailed again. You love Unreal, use it 24/7. Great. That's what we like to hear. Right now, I'm taking a break from the main project development to work on something that I challenged someone in my chat to make, but he said that was too hard for him. So I decided that I'd show him how easy making a video game can be by making it myself. So this is going to be a Metroidvania pinball game, right? You like this game prototype? Goddamn! Wow, that's a strong reaction. That is a strong reaction. I like the idea, and I definitely like playing pinball. I feel like some of the gameplay elements around Metroidvania are going to be lost on the pinball segments, and some of the pinball elements of playing a game of pinball are going to be lost on Metroidvania segments, and there's no real good way, in my opinion, to reconcile the two differences in the games. The plunger is in the wrong place. This is just a demo area for testing features and functionality and fixing collision. This collision was a massive issue. Pinball is old but still fun. Yeah, it is. Especially pinball in the virtual scene, where you can have a pinball field which is, 20 meters long and filled with ships and glass balls. Physically impossible stuff. Recently played Star Wars pinball game that was released some months ago. Nice. I saw they made a Deadpool pinball game not too long ago. I think 2019. That looked pretty good too. And anyway, yeah. So I have been struggling with this this is the 4th week, I think, of trying to make some kind of Metroidvania pinball game, and I've gotten to the point where we have a level transition where we can move to the the next area if I'm good enough at pinball, but we have no way of getting back. So it's not coded into the actual game. And I was just looking now, how does the physics work? Well, I'm glad you asked, because the physics do not work. It's all fake. It's not fake, but so the physics object pirate ball is here, and we have ourselves exposed value, gravity acceleration, and table pitch is actually meant to be exposed as well. So we have basically, if I open Paint, flashbang out, right? It's all based on this blueprint. Yeah, pretty much. So we have the direction of gravity is coded, hard coded, as a vector 001, which is straight down. Oh, it's actually straight up, I think. Yeah, it's straight up. It's in this orientation. It's on the XY. It's the normal to the XY plane, right? Anyway, and we have a value of gravity acceleration, which is a float. So it's just a magnitude, basically. And then we have the table pitch, which is the angle at which the table is elevated from the XY plane, right? So we have the table here. There's some flippers down here, I guess. There's a pinball bouncing around. And this angle here is the table pitch. So we have the XY plane, and then we have the table, which is lifted up. But as you saw, or maybe if you didn't see, I will show you now. Let's select something which is actually normal to the table, like a bumper. You'll see that we're on the global gizmo here, and it's flat, right? The table is actually on the XY plane. So we do a little bit of Newtonian maths here in the fake gravity function. So we take the value of the gravity acceleration, we multiply it by rotating the vector 001 about the y for the table pitch, and -1, so it points it in the opposite direction, right? And this gives us a resultant vector. Where's Paint? This gives us a resultant acceleration vector, basically like this, right? So it keeps the ball. Blueprint just destroys your brains when it comes to vectors and maths. I don't see the problem. It's basically normal. So anyway, the G gets recoded to be a vector which is rotated, the rotation -1 of the table towards the Z -1 of the fake XY plane, which is actually rotated this way, I guess. It's X, Y wouldn't change, but it's rotated down that way. So you get a value of G which pushes the ball down and towards the bottom of the table, and gravity for the balls is turned off. So there's no actual... Back in the day, I was using a compound vector of using the engine gravity and just maxing that out on the strength and then having a downward velocity of whatever it would be. But that doesn't work very well. You get a lot of glitches. This is actually simulating a more natural kind of gravity acceleration on the table, where it's only going in one direction, which is 10 degrees rotated. Typical pinball table is only about 6.5 degrees, but 10 degrees is a nice even number, and I can't deal with it not being nice and even. And as you can see, if we just spawn a ball and it rolls around, it looks like a pinball game, right? There's no complaints. I did get one complaint when I was doing it, just the you know, the -X acceleration, that it was very slow. And it was quite slow. Sounds advanced, but it looks easy. Yeah, it's actually, it's really easy. And it took a week to think of that, and which is embarrassing, really. Really, the ideal situation would be that you just go into the engine files and you change the gravity vector to be whatever the vector of gravity you need. But you can't do that without editing the engine. And yeah, a week. Yeah, you can roast me all you like, but I spent hours trying to just get the default gravity to be the one that worked, but it wasn't. So I didn't. Yeah. It's one of those things, you know. I don't really deal with physics in the main project, so it's not something I have a lot of experience in, but now I have the experience. I can tell you that doing things in Blueprint on tape with physics and physics X and the engine physics as well is not great. See, if I spawn a whole bunch of these, they'll start going through walls and get confused about, you know, what their life priorities are. I've also jammed the pinball machine. It's fine. I'm sure we can unjam it. Just spawn a whole bunch more. There we go. So you see there's some problems with having a large number of physics collisions going on at the same time, which is why you need to make serious considerations about what's important in the game. Having a bunch of physics, or there's a ball stuck on the outside of the court there. That's interesting. Didn't know it could do that. Don't blame me, some stuff is taking weeks. You only use C++ for the most part. C++ is so nice. C++ is so nice. You can just write a bit of code and it works. Or you can write a bit of code and it doesn't compile and completely destroys your project. Welcome to my world. Yeah, exactly. I have done a course in C. I have enabled the debug camera by accident again. I gotta stop doing that. I like it, but at the same time, the integrations to the Unreal Engine, I'm not knowledgeable, and C++, I have not finished. I have not completed C++ yet. I'm doing a course in C, C#, and C++. Wow. I'm reading a book on C++. It's not the easiest thing to read sometimes, and it does only say things once, which is, it's a book. I guess I can read it twice, but I'm just trying to get to the other area now, so you can see the cool camera transition that's previewed. You'd also like to have a book, but it's hard to find these items in Sweden. I don't remember where I found mine. I think you can get it on Amazon though. I think I saw the C++ Primer version 5 on Amazon. I think it was about £30. It's quite expensive, to be fair, but you know, you pay for the goods. It's a great reference handbook for C++. It is a terrible learning experience for C++. It was recommended to me by a non-recommendation. They said, this is a good book for C++, but it's a terrible book to learn C++ with. And they're right. They are 100% right. I was recommended by, who are they? Those friends over at one of those people's Discords. Cool people. Freya Holmer, C# programmer extraordinaire. Unity developer. Anyway, this is the off project. I can't really show you the on project. Oh, I can actually. Hold up. Because you can download the on project. There is a demo available on my itch page. You can just download it and break your PC. You know the name? Freya Holmer. I think she's a Swedish national. I think she's a Swedish programmer from Sweden. And I think she speaks mostly English because she lived in America for a decent amount of time. Don't look at my folders. Mr. Black Void Titan, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for bringing your people to my people. And you sleep well. I'll see you when I see you. If I chill out on your stream one day. Ever. Unreal renders. Unreal exports? Unreal renders. RPG TBD. So there's a zipped version, you can see it. But I can actually boot this. Isn't she a god at vector math? She's very good at shaders. I forgot there's mouse control. Bruh, what is mouse control? I did not intend for this. I remember it was the last thing I coded before I packaged the demo. I thought, oh, I'd just add the mouse axis to the thing so we have mouse control in the combat areas, and then it was mouse control everywhere, and it's a nightmare. Welcome to the test version, by the way. Make it full screen so you can see the glorious gizmos of the test version. You can see the test wallpaper. Lovely art, thank you. It took hundreds of hours to make the art. I'm kidding. Tens of hours maybe, not hundreds. It will take hundreds by the end of the project, definitely. But this is running on the Unreal Engine 5 Early Access, so you can see there's a whole bunch of issues with the light thing. I have fixed that. The text around the whole screen, though. Everyone comments on that. Everyone says this is the kind of thing that a big company would do, and a small indie game developer shouldn't be doing this on their game. Dog, what do you want me to do? Tell people that this isn't all rights reserved copyright 2020, 2021, and 2022? Yo, get out of it. Oh, it's 2022. 17th of January. Has the date. You can read it. It's good information. It is a little bit distracting, I'll give you that. Maybe I should have made a better pop-up. But yeah, this is the project that I work on normally, quote unquote normally. I haven't worked on it for a month, as I said, because Unreal Engine 5 came out and it broke the project file. My fault, not theirs. Slightly, mostly. Uncompiled C file in the project file, in the project solution, but the files didn't exist and they were uncompiled. But there were references somewhere, and the Unreal Engine can't reconcile the fact that there are actually no files, and the solution doesn't want to reconcile the fact that there are no files. But yeah, this is it. It's an RPG game. This is the overworld navigation style thing. There's tweaks to be made, you know. Faster walking, slower walking, sprint mode, I don't know. And the last thing I was working on before I closed this down for the break after it broke was combat. Turn-based. This is Unreal Engine 5, but it's early access. You can tell because there's horrible ghosting everywhere. Like if I walk across like one of the dark areas, you can see the horn, the reflection on the horn leaves streaks on the screen. Which is actually still in the release version of Unreal Engine 5. There's also a whole bunch of light rendering issues because I don't know if I can open the, no, I can't open the console. This is a package build. If I could open the console, I could show you the lumen scene. The lumen scene for this is basically nothing. There is nothing here. The reflections are great, but I think most of them are ray traced, like actual ray traced, because we have some low roughness surfaces like that. Earring. Yeah. So the lumen scene obviously dictates where light can go, what light can bleed. If I go back into the room, I'll show you. But you'll see a whole bunch of light bleeding where there shouldn't be any light bleed. And I fixed it. You can change the resolution of the lumen scene. You can change the object fidelity. Looks like voxel, but still pixel art in 3D. Yeah, so the models were made using Magical Voxel, which is a voxel 3D mesh authoring tool. It's free. You should check it out. It's very cool. The environment, everything in the environment was made using the same program. And it's great because it allows me to organize materials a little bit better. Materials and texture specifically are very, very small files, so I'm not worried about having a whole bunch of them cluttering up the GPU. And also because the materials and the textures are small files and they take up less VRAM, there's more VRAM available for the lumen scene, and the lumen scene can therefore render stuff like this without breaking. You can see there's some light leakage at the corner there, at the top. It is what it is. It was what it was. That is, I really want to release a fixed version of the demo, but I can't until I move on to the project, and this has basically pushed me to the point of being pissed off enough to, and that's why you should have 24 gigabytes of VRAM. Exactly. I don't know what GPU you're referencing there, but 24 gigabytes of VRAM. The NVIDIA RTX A6000 3090 Ti. That is £2,000, friend. What about a PNY Quadro RTX 4000? That only has 8 gigabytes. Boo. Yeah, 24 gigabytes. 3090 Ti. Damn, son. It's $2,000. My whole PC didn't cost $2,000. My whole PC didn't cost $2,000. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's this? I'm getting so distracted. NVIDIA Ampere A30 PCIe 165 watt 24 gigabyte passive double wide full height GPU customer kit. GPU costed 80% of your whole computer. Mine was about 50%. 10K, yeah, okay. It's a GPU accelerator for industry. Okay. $1.2K. Jesus. I've got a very cheap GPU. And I say that looking at the Unreal Engine 5 scene rendered at 100%. Don't judge me. It works. I get roasted by other devs for having an expensive GPU. It wasn't that expensive. Why did I even buy it? Oh, I remember why I bought it. Devil May Cry 5 didn't run. I was trying to stream Devil May Cry 5. I was trying to stream Devil May Cry 5. And it was not having it. I was very unhappy. So I said, screw it. I've just been paid. Buy a new GPU. Bought a new GPU and it runs fine. I say it runs fine. It ran fine. It didn't stream fine. And now it streams. Okay. Minor upgrade. It also means I can run VR games properly now. Anyway, what was I doing? Camera Manager BP inherits from the Camera Manager class and is integral to the Player Controller class. Camera Manager asset can be specified in the Player Controller under the class defaults Player Controller. Camera function can be set by overriding the function Blueprint Update Camera in the Camera Manager. You couldn't play VR before on your 1060? 1060 was fine for VR. 1060 was regulated, approved for VR. Anything above a 970 was VR ready. Not for me. I think they meant like on potato settings. I used to play VR games or with 90 Hertz. Do you have a Valve Index though? That makes two of us. Hey, if you got a Valve Index and a PC that can run VR games on a Valve Index at 90 Hertz, you should check out my VR experience that I made for a game jam that nobody in the game jam could actually play because they all had Oculus Quest 2s, which isn't the supported VR headset for Unreal Engine 5. Also, Unreal Engine 5 at the time didn't actually support VR games. Poor guys. No, I know, it's a shame. I came last, believe it or not. But it was really funny because I made they were like, when was this? 2014? It was last year. I didn't come last in everything though. There was something that I didn't come last in. I trying to work out what it was. It was like they did support VR games in 2021. They released a blog post that said that you can make VR, if you want to make a VR project using the Unreal Engine 5, please use our default template because you can't author the blueprints, the VR blueprints directly in the engine. So you'd have to start with their template first and then, work from there, which is fine, totally fine. Like you could do, HMD projection. I'm not a wizard that made something work that didn't work, but it wasn't an official feature of the Unreal Engine Early Access. Of course, it was in 4, but I wanted to push boundaries. I wanted to, put fresh blood on the floor, whatever you say in whoever's country. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, I basically, I turned 3 projects into a bonfire, and then I had like 12 hours to make the whole game. So it didn't pan out very well. You telling you that Unity was higher up when it comes to VR? No. I'm saying that the Unreal Engine 5 was in an experimental phase of its development and wasn't ready for actual shipped products in VR, and they didn't expect people to be making shipped projects in VR because the main point of having the Unreal Engine 5 is to use the Lumen scene and the Nanite scene, neither of which work in non-deferred rendering, whatever that's called these days, which is quote-unquote required for a VR experience because it's more performant, speedier, and you also have no lighting. I I'm going to show you what I did. I don't even know why I'm recording this anymore. This is just mindless waffle. It's making me feel good, though. Like, Unreal Engine 4 was fully fledged in VR. You could do anything you wanted in VR, but the functionality in the Unreal Engine 5 early access was not there. Anyway, let me show you what I did. Or what I tried to do and then had to scrap because it was too ambitious. And when I say ambitious, I mean the Unreal Engine just really did not enjoy it. I don't mind coming last, by the way, in the jam. There were prizes available, but it wasn't about that for me. It really was about learning, pushing the edge. And it was fun. The most important thing was that it was fun. I had some really cool features in my game, which you won't be able to see in this project because this is the scrapped project that had to be deleted because it didn't actually work, didn't package. See, this is the one that actually packaged. But I'm going to show you the cool environment that I had because it was really cool. I'm proud of this environment, okay? I look at this environment and I'm like, you did good. You did real good. Anyway, it's going to have to prepare a whole bunch of shaders, but I'm hoping most of the shaders are prepared. It's just the skybox. I was in the Messy Game Jam. Yeah, I was in the Messy Jam. You may have heard of some of the games there, like Torian Raptor, Torian Defense, Torian Super Game. Very good game. It's Torian. I played that for a long minutes. But I have also played my game for long minutes, and I keep coming back to it because it's really fun. You love game jams? I like game jams. I think game jams are cool. I don't know why the sky isn't rendering, but I think I have an answer for why the sky isn't rendering. But this is the environment I started out with. It's a little canyon. It has some weird lighting artifacts going on. I don't think it really works. This, I believe, is using Lumen. The jams that last 24 hours are something of hell, but otherwise you love it. See, that's the problem with game jams, right? If they last a week, I'm only going to have 24 hours to work on it anyway. So it's like, oh, it's a week game jam. You can spend as long as you want on the game jam. But I have a job, and I also stream. So realistically, there's going to be 24 hours to complete that game jam, right? And if they're longer than that, people don't like to do them because they're not an open and closed kind of thing. They're like a, you know, you can poke it every so often, and you don't get the right kind of response from the user base. And if they're shorter than that, if it's just a 24-hour game jam, imagine to render 42 trillion nanite triangles a few days back. Nice. Wait, do I follow you on Twitter? Don't answer that question. Don't follow me back. I saw someone pushing a bunch of triangles in Unreal Engine. Something Perkson maybe. Lovely game developer. You don't even have Twitter. Good. No, nobody needs a Twitter account. But this took you days. Really? 42 trillion nanite triangles a few days back. I don't know what's going on here. Took around 30 minutes to place 15 million objects. That's a long time. That is a long time. Alright, we got a little AK that's resting on the box. I promise it's resting. Don't judge me. It drops when the game starts, don't worry. Okay. You placed them all at once, your GPU died? Well, 15 million each time. I would really appreciate some new snow assets from Quixel. These are flat, but the bump map makes them look like hideously carved, you know? It'd be nice if we had some better snow. Please, Quixel, Please make us some better snow. Anyway, that's the project that got scrapped. It looks beautiful. That's the potato project. That's for people to quote-unquote be able to play the game if they didn't have a good PC, quote-unquote good PC, quote-unquote good headset. This is the one that I actually spent time playing. Unfinished as well, but to say that I had to build this entire game basically 4 times, or 3.5, let's say. What CPU and GPU am I on? I'm on a AMD Ryzen 1800X and NVIDIA RTX 2070S. I think that's the one it's called. I recently turned the GPU box into a card storage container. What the fuck? What do you mean, what the fuck? Totally fine. 2070S. I don't have the money for a 30 series graphics card or a 40 series graphics card or Quadro. You can't really play games on a Quadro though, can you? Yeah. I think it says underneath my stream. I confused you. Well, that's why I'm here. Here we go. Yeah, this is Asus ROG Strix X370F motherboard. Barely get 100 FPS in Battlefield 2042 with your RTX 30. Wow. Wow. Asus RTX 2070 Super 8GB. I really need to sort out my water cooling because it's getting towards the 5-year point. They're only good for 5 years, quote unquote. Corsair Ironclaw RGB wireless. Speaking of which, is my mouse charged? It's the big question these days, isn't it? Give me those status lights. Charged. Oh yeah, take my raise, baby. Mouse lasts up to 2 to 4 weeks. What mouse do you have, friend? Because I hate this mouse. No, I don't hate it. It doesn't last long. You got to tell me, is it using an MX mouse maybe? Super high productivity mouse. Logitech. But wait, you gotta check the model. Not sponsored. If anyone wants to sponsor me for mice, I go through them like hell, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You can use me as a test bed to see if your mouse is actually durable. I mean, you wanna appreciate this? I don't think I've even had this a year, and it's toast. I mean, it works, but it's not pretty. It doesn't feel nice. It's a Pro wireless. Let's go through the options, huh? It's around $165. That's a lot of money to spend on a mouse. Not gonna lie. Logitech Nice. You point to the Logitech mouse that assaulted you in the lineup. You just tell me when to stop. Is it this? Is it this mouse? I was looking at getting one of these. The second one? This one. This one. The penguin. This one. This one. It looks too small for my hands. I said I like the Iron Claw because it's huge. I had some real problems. Like I'd used Death Adders for ages. This is a big mouse. I like it. This looks like a real pinch grip. And it's got buttons on both sides that would mess me up. It says it lasts up to 60 hours, but that's such a lie. trying to think, if I use my PC for like, you can remove the buttons. Oh, so that's the thing I like about the Iron Claw. I do like the Iron Claw. I don't want to be like, it sucks. It doesn't suck. It's just fallen apart. And I wonder if I've got like maybe a factory second or something. So it's really hard to look at because it's black. Okay, it just absorbs the light. But it's got 2 buttons up front. It's got 3 buttons in a thumb cluster. It's got the DPI switches and then obviously the main mouse buttons. It's really nice. I had a Razer Death Star mouse. The one looks so scary. The Death Adder. I'll show you the mouse that I had. Yeah, this one. Basic, real basic mouse. Just 2 side buttons. 2 side. Get this off my screen. 2 side buttons, 2 main buttons, middle click. I don't think mine had DPI switches. It's not wireless. Razer Death Adder V2 X Hyperspeed review. What the fuck? I might need that. It's this 2 extra buttons on the side. Is this fucking custom? Did someone make this? I muted my mice. Is that what you're saying? I have not muted myself. I'm here. I can see the mic bar booming around. You muted the stream. Bluetooth, yes. Battery type 1 AA or 1 AAA. Use while charging? No. Single-use batteries. I don't want it. I don't want it. Maximum polling rate 1000. Razer 5G. Battery based, this one is, yeah. Mine is USB, yeah. I'm shocked at this day and age that you have a mouse that's battery powered. I'll show you the first mouse I ever had. There it is, beautiful. It's beautiful. It's so good. They don't even make this anymore. This is my first like premium mouse. Your first mouse was a Logitech 504. Yeah, it's a respectable mouse. I've been looking at the Naga Pro. It's very expensive, but G502? Yeah. No, I know the one. Everybody loves the 502. I'm getting so sidetracked here. Logitech G502. Yeah, I looked at getting one of these as well. It's got a lot of nice buttons. It's got a 3-button thumb cluster, which is nice, and 2 buttons on the side there. I did actually order mouse joystick thing. I ordered one of these, but it didn't come good. No. No, none of these. None of these. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. It's been fucking terminated. I ordered it. It didn't come with the carry case, so I sent it back. I think it was called the Orbit. Orbit mouse? Mouse Orbit? No, not a Logitech ball. Why are there mice here? I want to see mice. Not rat. No. No, I can't. I don't know what it's called. Weird mouse with screen. Unusual computer mice you probably don't want to buy. Nope. 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 Nope, nope. Top 10 weirdest mice in Newegg. Oh, it's on Newegg though. I want to remember what it was called because it was really interesting. You gotta go. Come back later if it's still on, but you gotta go cook some food before you get kicked out of the house if you like with us streaming. Thank you so much, Brenda. You take it easy. I'll see you around. If I see you around. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy it here. And I'll see you sometime, I'm sure. This is just bringing up pictures of actual mice now. It's not what I wanted. It's still compiling shaders. What have I done? This was a mistake brought upon myself. Let me update the overlay real quick. That's right. 4 followers and I open a booster pack. That is a threat. Oh. So if I just go here, and in the player character folder, which is already far too cluttered, we've got a player controller, right? Cold camera snapper, yeah, great. Ball collector, ball returner, fizz flip, PC, player character player, right? Okay. So if I make a blueprint class, and then I go to here, and I type in camera manager, player camera manager. I'm not going to call it PCM, that's confusing. BP. BP camera manager. We can control the zoom with the field of view, right? Yeah, the field of view is like, so we wouldn't have to like change the position of the camera, maybe, ever. I mean, the Z position of the camera. We can just pan it around on the XY, like that, and then we can change the field of view. For different zoom modes. This is really tanking my PC. I'm sorry if the stream's chugging. And it's the funniest thing. I can't even stop it until it's finished, can I? It's about halfway done anyway. Might be a great time for us all to grab drinks. I could use the field of view to change the zoom, yeah. That is interesting. That is interesting. Ah, VR has booted as well. Get out of here. So we have BP camera manager and we have player character right here. So if we go here, we go to class defaults and we go to player controller and then player camera manager, and then we can click on BP camera manager, which is the one that we just made, and then get player camera manager, cast to BP camera manager, and we'll need to open that, right? Yeah, off the screen. That's exactly what I expected. Variables, this is going to be do we need this? What was the purpose for doing this? I think the purpose for doing this was to get a reference to the camera, which is on the default pawn, and bind that to the return output of the function. But I don't think we need to do that, actually. But let's go with this. Hold up. Act object reference. I don't know we need that. I don't know we need that. I know that we need this. Don't care about that. BP camera manager. And then functions, not a new function, no. Override blueprint update camera. There it is. Right. Right. Auto manage active camera target. If true, to allow this player controller to manage the camera target for you, typically by using the possessed pawn as the camera target. Set to false if you want to manually control the camera target. Right. Set view target with blend. No, that's not what I want. Parent class advanced. Override. Auto manage active camera target. Screw it. Something wrong. Oh, is it? Because I'm compiling all these goddamn shaders in the background. Welcome to Lightspeed, baby. You see how different the physics calculations are when it's running slowly? That's really interesting. Speedrun technique achieved. And it kind of bounces around as well when it's rendering. It's very interesting. Can I actually just stop that? I can just stop that. No, it's slower. It's definitely slower. Something's going crazy. Something's doing stuff on tick, isn't it? I hear it screaming in the background. Is it because of this? I don't get it. I have another project open as well. Still. Oh, it's just ALS. It should be fine. Camera target though. What we doing with that? ALS, what are you doing with that? Actor has tag ALS character. Branch true custom camera behavior. Right. Okay. I don't get it. If I were to grab that camera, so something's happening. That is no longer automatically assigning. Get actor of class, select class, camera, actor, promote to variable, a camera. get actual transform, split, location, rotation. Oh, is that why it was everything running slowly? Maybe. Adaption gonna kick in anytime soon? Oh, do you know what? I can just put it into a process volume, can I? If I go to the camera, that we get camera post process. Exposure. And copy exposure. Oh, place actors. Post processing volume. Manual -4. General. Infinite extent, right. Something going wrong here. Something's not going right. Something is slowing this down. What is going on? Oh my goodness. That still works. Intriguing. That is intriguing. That is actually fascinating. It's almost 8 o'clock. Okay, so we have a camera manager now. We have a camera manager blueprint that, air quotes, works, but it's very slow. I don't know why it's so fucking slow. Like the whole game process has slowed down like 100-fold. I wonder if this is actually the correct way to go about things. I wonder. I will have to research this in my own time, I'm afraid. It's just got to be one of those things, I'm afraid. It's a very, I don't want to say deep topic. It doesn't seem like it's got a lot of depth to it, but it is something that I'm going to have to understand fully going forward. Otherwise, I need to use it. I want it to be a liberating experience, to stop relying on spring arms. attached to actors and then transitioning view targets and such. I don't want it. So yeah, I think we've made a big step in maybe not understanding but implementing at least camera actor, camera controller, camera manager, actor, whatever they're called. And that's a huge step forward in my opinion. I'm gonna leave the development segment here. We'll get ready for the gameplay segment. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'm gonna go grab a nice cold can of soda, and we will reconvene, I'm sure, momentarily. I'll do a tiny talk out here. Thank you so much, Black Void Titan, for the raid, and thank you so much, Render1010, for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy it here. And so yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes with a fresh drink and some gameplay, and I'll see you then.